Phil, at 95 minutes, you probably think you've rescued a point. 96 minutes, probably thought you should have had all three.
I don't think it was about the 95th and the 96th minute. I think it was the 95 before that that I was really disappointed with my players, you know, and we said that at half time. You try and motivate a group of players to play on AstroTurf. It's going to be a game of football, and when a team like Buxton go toe to toe with you, you've got to stand up to them physically first and foremost. But I thought technically we didn't really step up to the plate. Once we were winning an individual physical battle, we didn't get the ball down and play. So that was the frustrating part in the first half. But we chopped and changed. We tried to make it a little bit of a mind game, if you like, where the coach was concerned. If I made a change, did he make a change? And he did. And he sort of nullified us. And then all of a sudden, probably their first shot, or maybe second shot on target, whichever the case may be, goes in the back of the net. Great goal from their perspective. But I'm looking at my players about Bottle, and I'm talking to them about Bottle at half time and before the game. And, you know, the pressure cooker situation just gets bigger and better. You've got to put them two words to get bigger and better, because it's a waste of time playing in a relegation battle, you know. Does it get more pressure? Yeah, so they get bigger. They don't get any better though, they just become scraps. And I thought the game deteriorated into a scrap more than anything else. I'm not saying it was a relegation battle by any stretch of the imagination, because I'd be doing the league a disservice, but if they had gone on and won the game, I would have been disappointed, bitterly disappointed, because of the run that we're on. But we showed a lot of character. In the end, get ourselves a goal. Probably could have had another one. Probably could have had the last kick of the game. Ben Beresford, have I put him on for that reason? Absolutely. Have I took Ashley Hemmings off, and would Ashley Hemmings have put it in the back of the net? He might not have been there. So it's always ifs, buts and maybes. But we've got a point, and it keeps that unbeaten run going, and it shows people out there that we can stand the pressure. That's the key. That's the message. That the pressure is going to get cranked up. Support has played their part, it has to be said, over the far side of the pitch. Unfortunately, it's spilled into a little bit on the pitch, and I'm not advocating that by any stretch of the imagination. But we've sent them home happy to a certain extent, because we've got a point and we remained unbeaten. But at the same time, I'm disappointed that we've not got all three.
Psychologically, good to keep that run going. So you're unbeaten, keep it going, and it's about grinding out points at this stage of the season. I
think psychology plays a massive part in pressure cooker situations, in tight situations. I thought the game stank of pressure, you know, both sides were really huffing and puffing basically, you know, you're trying to win your individual battles, and I think probably out of the 10 outfield players, individuals nullified themselves in 9 of the occasions possibly, until we made tactical changes. And I thought then all of a sudden Amari got freed up to a certain extent. Dave Worrell got a new lease of life on the right hand side of the field. I thought Toby with a decent first touch in one of the occasions, it could have been another goal scoring opportunity. Toby started to stretch them. That doesn't mean to say Masquia wasn't playing well, or Hemmer wasn't playing well, or anything like that. It's just a collective, and I think the collective mentality was there for everybody to see. We don't want to be beaten. Sometimes it's difficult to actually explain that to somebody. We don't want to be beaten, but we want to win every game if we possibly can. The point is a point in the right direction, and I've got to say this to the Kiddie fans and to everybody that's listening. It's a great point, and it could be the most important point of the season.
And Zach Brown popped up with the equaliser at 3-2 now, after a bit of a drought.
A bit of a drought for a midfield player that's been playing in different positions. And again, it was, you know, I'm not going to berate the referee, they're under pressure as well, but I thought I had to take David Davis off at half time, because he looked like he was going to get a red card or a second yellow, shall we say, and I didn't want to go down to 10 men, because we were basically up against it anyway. So I took David off and put Riley out there, and kept it at 11v11. But there was a couple of incidents where the referee showed leniency towards the home team, and that's all I'm going to say. He showed leniency to the home team, where he could have had a couple of second yellow cards, and they were down to 10 men, and therefore that makes the David substitution justified. But I don't want to be justified for it. You know, I just want Riley to go in the second half and prove that he's a player. And I thought he did.
Just finally, it's a point that takes you a point closer to Scunthorpe. They lost today.
That's great news. It's great news for us, but it then makes you wonder, what would 3 points be? But that means you're top of the league and you're there to be shot at, and maybe waiting on that team. I don't know. At the end of the day, we're a point closer because we've drawn. It's a great point then. And I'm just looking at today's point and thinking, we've kept the unbeaten run going, but now you've told me that. Thanks for that news.
great, thank you.
Do you almost just almost want it to go down to the wire in a kind of reverse way? Because it seems like we thrive on that type of pressure.
Explain to me about this perversion thing. I think it's there. Somebody's trying to explain it. Do I want it to go down to the wire? I always love games that go down to the wire, as you readily described. It really shows you what type of person you are, you know. And I think I've got a group of players in that changing room that don't mind if it goes down to the wire, you know. I think we've got players that play with a lot of instinct and a lot of bottle, and they've got a manager in front of them that has been there, seen it and done it, and been through the mill a couple of times, and hopefully I can carry them through it. But at the same time, they're carrying me through, because the performance in the latter stages of that game showed me that they've got the bottle, they've got the nerve, they've got the nous. You've just got to be able to carry that across the line in the next 4 games.
Yeah, and that's the point you said at the start of the interview about not focusing on the chance at the very end of the game, but you were considering more about the first 2/3 of the game, if you like. There was that, I don't know, maybe 8-9 minute period after conceding where the response was really good.
I think if you analyse the game, I think 1,100 punters turned up. Would they have gone home happy? At 1-0 up, Buxton fans would have gone home happy. At 1-1, I think the Kidderminster Harriers fans are going home happy. And now all of a sudden we're in the bar talking about the missed chance by Ben Beresford, and that for me, they're key moments, key issues. But again, it's another game, and it's another in the link, as it were, with 4 to go, and we haven't been beaten. We're in a great place in that changing room. We've just been through the mill today. We haven't really played as well as what we know we can, but you can't always reach your A game. If you reach your A game week in and week out, at some stage the B game will come along and everyone will go, oh, we didn't play that well, but I didn't think it was even B, C or D. I thought it was going down the pecking order, you know. But that's how well we've been, Matty, and that's all I'm saying. We've got to try and reach them standards week in and week out. And now the next game is Curzon Ashton, I believe. So bring it on, as they say.